Hello, my name is Linda Perry. I am a BMC solution engineer. We are working through a series of videos about BMC Helix dashboards. This is the third video in the series, and we will be talking about advanced dashboards. This will be part one. We'll be talking about two different topics. The event store, which is a different data source than what we've been used to so far. The event store actually brings in events from the BMC Helix operations monitoring system. And then we'll be talking about how to jump between different dashboards, linking them so it's easy to traverse them. Okay, so now we're back at the dashboard that we've been using for the previous videos. What I want to show you is that I can put an indicator on this graph that I have an event associated to something within my environment. And I could make my query based on this particular host name, but I don't have any events for that host name. So I'm just going to add a query about open events at all. So how do I do that? I go into dashboard settings, I go to annotations, and I add one. I'll just call it alerts. I need my correct source, which is BMC Helix. I'm going to change the color so you can see that I can change the color. It defaults to red, but I'll make it purple. And then the events is the place that I want to query against. It's a different data store from the metrics that we've been using so far. The metrics are based on a Prometheus data table, and events are based on Elasticsearch data table. So the metrics, you use PromQA query language, which you've seen already, and events we use Lucene query language based on Elasticsearch data. So this one's a little different. So I know what fields I have in my events. One of them is called status, and I want to look for all open events. And then down here, I know I have a message field, and I know I have a severity field. So those are the two I'm going to add right now. I might not have any events at this point in time. So I'm going to go ahead and change my time frame because I know I have events within the last 24 hours. So now you can see that I have an event here. This purple vertical line indicates that I got an event at this time. You can see that the message has come through as I indicated I wanted, and you can see that the severity of critical came through as well, as I had indicated that in my annotation when I defined it. I could make my query based on the host. I didn't do that here because I don't have any open events at this time. The other thing that you can do is add a panel for the event source. So I would do everything the same, select BMC Helix, and instead of changing to the metrics data store, I'm going to keep it at event. And I can do the same query. So I can say status open here, and I will get a green line on top of my purple one because I still have that annotation defined. And maybe you want to use a different visualization for your events. A table might make more sense. And you could put in different fields in your table, and you could see them on your screen, on your dashboard, along with all the metrics that apply as well. Okay, now we're looking at a more advanced dashboard that was created for the JBoss technology, and the JBoss knowledge module that can be utilized by Patrol. And I utilized the parameter reference database as well when I created this particular dashboard. So we went over all of that in previous videos if you would like to go back to the first and second videos and understand what I meant by the PRD document. But what I want to focus on now is these different visualizations that we're seeing on this screen because they're a lot more complicated than what we went over previously. So we have a donut type of visualization here, and it was used because basically the percentages are split out between these different types of garbage collection. And we wanted to understand which one was being used the most. So we can see here that the scavenge one is being used the most. This particular one is based on a percent usage. So we used a little dial so that we could see, well, where would I want it to go red and where is it right now at this point in time. So on your screen, you can also change the time frame that you're looking at. There are some canned out of the box time frames that you can select, or you can enter a time frame and apply it. But we can also hover over a graph and select a time frame within that graph, and all of them, all of the different panels will move to that time frame that you selected. So you see that this one just is moved and this one is moving. It might take a second in my system because I don't have as many resources as others, but that's what happens in the background. And so, like we talked about how you can select a variable, you can also select a time frame. And that can be utilized as you jump to different dashboards. That can stay sticky as you move to another dashboard. What we want to focus on now is how we are able to jump between different dashboards that are related. So I have another dashboard about JBoss that is for a different type of persona, but maybe I want to jump to that dashboard, and it's called JBoss application. All I have to do is click on the button here on the screen, and it will open up that other dashboard. So you can see, again, different visualizations that I've utilized within this dashboard. But the important part is this ability to link these two different dashboards together. And let me show you how I went about doing that. Again, in our dashboard settings, in general, we create a tag, and this one has JBoss. You can create more than one tag. We're utilizing the JBoss tag to link these two different dashboards. Once I've created that in my general, which I do in any dashboard that I want to link to each other, then I would go ahead into my link section and define a link. So let's look at what we did here. This is a dashboard link, not an external link, which you can also define. But we're doing a dashboard to dashboard link. And I'm saying I want this particular dashboard to be able to see any other dashboard and put an icon on the screen so you can link to it that has JBoss as a tag. I can make it a drop-down option instead of having several different dashboards listed across the top of my dashboard screen. I could make it a drop-down. As you know, in your dashboard, you can select a time range and you can select variables to use within your queries. So as you select those and you jump between dashboards, you want them to stay consistent. That's why you utilize time range and variable values. As you jump between dashboards, you want them to be sticky so that when you go to the next dashboard, you have those values intact. Some people like to have the new dashboard open in a new tab. I allow it to open in the same tab. So that's the end of the advanced topics part 1. Thank you for watching.